All right, welcome everybody, whether you're here live, thank you for joining us, or listening to the replay. We are glad you are here. It is Monday. I can't believe it's June 17th. Do you guys feel that way, or is it just me? It's like,
Flying by.
it's flying by. Hey, Brenda, it's really flying by. So we have lots to talk about. We are going to start with I don't need my agenda. Victories. Anybody want to share victory, big or small, preferably business related?
I can
All right.
go.
Oh, yes, I'm like, Sheila, I know you got something to share.
Yeah, my party last Thursday night closed at $868. And she got the birthday call.
Yay.
Nice.
So she got level 3 plus 80 free plus 129 plus a half price item.
Oh my gosh. Is she a new host or a repeat host?
She's repeat, but she always had just online parties. So this was her first tasting.
Yes, and she looked like a younger gal.
She is, yeah.
I mean, younger than us.
Way younger. Way. She could be
Yeah.
my daughter. She could probably be my granddaughter.
Oh, whatever. So did she have fun?
Oh gosh, yeah. I think she'll only do tastings now. Yeah, it was great.
That is so
Her
much
mother-in-law helped her with the food and they made some extra things and it was a good night.
What time did they call?
I put a start time at 5:45 and Holly called about 6 o'clock, I would say.
Oh,
A little before 6.
I have a tasting party tomorrow night, so I'm like, yes. I've already coached her. I'm like, we're gonna get that call, I hope.
Yeah, it was fun when her phone rang and we both looked at it. I'm like, oh my God, this could be it.
Yeah, I
And
love it. Well, yeah, congratulations, Sheila. That's
Very
so
fun for her.
cool. Did you have a victory, Twyla? Or no?
Well, while I was at that other event, I had people ordering for a freezer meal workshop for next week. So I sold a couple $100 for that. So
Yay!
they're
Yay.
ordering special things because they want to do the hamburger one from last year.
Oh,
That's the freezer meal they want to redo. So
yeah, good for you. Okay, well, excellent. Well, last chance for a victory that you might want to share. All right, well, let's move on to announcements, and then Elaine, you're up next with the product knowledge. So I'm excited to hear from Elaine. Announcements, key lime cheese ball. I got to tell you, Jane, you know, who is my assistant, she made the pasta recipe with the key lime cheese ball. Have any of you guys made that? I was like, what are you talking about? She was working this morning. It's penne pasta with creamy cilantro lime dressing. Now she knows I don't like cilantro, but who cares? I just leave it out. And you know, in the summer, I mean, do you guys eat a lot of more pasta, cold pasta?
Not a lot.
Nobody? Or not very much? Well, if you want to. Anyway, she said it was amazing. So penne pasta with creamy cilantro lime dressing. It has the garlic, and a packet of key lime.
That's
Isn't that
so
crazy?
weird.
I know. That's what I said too, but she said it's really good. And she made it last night and she was gonna, you know, her and her husband were gonna have it today or whatever, but she goes, it was really good. So check it out. So, okay. So as you know, key lime is still available, right? Or at least the last time I checked. You can still register for in-person or online Party Palooza, so you can get recognition. So check that out. I don't know where my list went with other announcements. Bravo Bucks, you should have received if you sold anything in May 2000 or more, right? Wasn't that 2000 you got double and 3000 you got triple? Is that right? You would have got an email from Tastefully Simple, and sounds like maybe some of you didn't, so you could you could log in or live chat with them tomorrow. What else? Anything else? Anybody else have any great announcements that they want to share?
No, but I'm interested in that queso dip or whatever that's going to be coming out.
Yeah, right. So thank you for bringing that up. So this month, when you sell 250 or more, you get it, you earn it for free. And it's an early release from the fall winter catalog that we can start selling July 1st, right?
I think that's what it said, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you
It'll be
try it,
awesome.
Sherry?
I did try it at the Diamond Retreat, but you know, in true Tastefully Simple style, they don't tell you until after you've tried it. And it was a big vat, and it was good, but I don't remember it being amazing. But I shouldn't say that, but I say that because remember when we used to get all those big samples at nationals, you'd be like, oh, because they made it in such a big thing, and then it
Right.
kind of sat there for a while. So I'm sure it'll be amazing. And you know, I bought a queso the other day because I was just feeling like chips and queso or whatever, and I was like, there's absolutely no, you know, just like the typical stuff at the grocery store.
It's
There's
not
like
that good.
it's not good at all.
No.
I had to sprinkle Fiesta on it. You know, it's like, no, it wasn't even good at all. So it'll be good. But I'm just saying, you know, I wish they would have told us up front and then waited till after, but whatever, it doesn't matter. It'll be good. So
Yep.
thank you for that. Anything else? Any other announcements? Nope. Okay. Well, Elaine Johnson is going to do our product knowledge. So Elaine, take it away, please.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, it says connecting to audio, but that's all that matters.
It does say that, but we can hear you, so I don't know.
Good. You have my picture?
I shared it on the team page.
Someplace?
I did on the team page. I just shared it, and it is on my screen. But just go ahead and talk about it, and then they can look at it.
I'm doing the Bayou Bourbon glaze. So I made a recipe. It was the bacon and Vidalia Bayou chicken, and it was very good. And Mike thought it was kind of fancy because there was bacon. Because you wrap it,
Right.
and it was Vidalia and Bayou Bourbon mixed and then wrapped and baked. So pretty easy. Because I always use rubber gloves. So I don't care
Because
then I don't care how messy I get.
oh, because you had to touch the bacon or the chicken or
And the sauce. So I just can go and then rip the gloves off and I'm clean.
sure, sure. Well, I wear gloves when I garden, so I guess.
It's a dental thing.
Ah, I got it.
So okay. So that was my experience with it. Plus I've used it on other things, but it's good on all your different meats, the chickens. Like you can take the little bites or water chestnuts and wrap them in bacon and glaze them and bake them or grill them. So
Yep.
it says to wrap hot dogs in bacon and brush them with the sauce and grill them or bake them. I'm not much of a griller, so I bake a lot of my stuff.
Okay.
It's good for some sides, like a rice and vegetables and add in there. And I like to do that with a teriyaki sauce too. But they're both good. It's good on sweet potatoes,
Yes.
some regular potatoes. Green beans are good with this and some bacon in there. Salmon I've had with some
Mhm.
glazed and baked. That was good. Stir fries, different stir fries, good for all kinds of pork, like your pulled pork and glaze your ham, chops, loin, pretty versatile with pork. So, meatloaf, when you get into the beef, put it in your meatloaf, on your meatloaf, meatballs, wings, ribs of the glaze, of course the hamburgers. So put them in, put them on, grill or fry. I'd be frying. A lot of people now are grilling, so whatever. And beans, of course, beans. Cowboy beans are just a can of beans and add a
Oh, right.
little stuff to it. Good stuff. So, a serving size of a tablespoon. There's 35 calories and 85 milligrams of sodium, which is high, kind of. But and then the 8 grams of carb, which is sugar. So
Right.
it's an addition, but a worthwhile addition. So that's it for me. If anybody else has ideas how they use it,
It's probably my top It's my top selling sauce for sure. I don't know what you guys think, but #1 in my category for just selling, you know, at events and I love to use it on everything you share, Elaine.
Yeah.
Anybody
Like a
else?
Sloppy Joe mixture.
Good idea. All right, Elaine. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing the
welcome.
product knowledge on the Bayou Bourbon Glaze. Yay. And welcome, Ryan. We haven't seen you for a while. Good to see your smiling face.
I know, it's been a long time. I'm sorry. I have other things going on Monday nights, but I can finally make it for a little while.
Okay, great. Okay, well, next up, we're gonna move to the topic, and it's called consistency. Are you guys ready?
Yup.
Yes. Okay, so let's start with this question. Do you know anybody that could use an extra $5,000 a year?
Of course.
Maybe it could be you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So who do you know that could use an extra $5,000 cash in a year? So let's look. I don't know if you need to grab a piece of paper. I don't think you do, but you can if you want. So I want to remind you, when you sell $1,500 in a month, it's very doable, you guys. Your income at 30% is $450. That's gross. That means no expenses. That's gross, right? That's what you bring in. And you're going to be consistent, because that's what I'm going to talk about. And I'd love to help you with that. That means every month you're going to hit $1,500. It's doable, you guys. I promise you. Anyway, take that times 12, because there's 12 months in a year. Your gross is $5,400. And guess what? You're going to earn 216 in Bravo bucks. So that comes to gross of $5,616. We're going to give you $616 for your expenses. You know, what is it? I figured it out. It's $168 right now for your website for the year. You still got about, you know, $450 to play with. So really, I really believe with all my heart, you can either or you can show someone how to make $5,000 a year. And there's not too many places where you can easily get a bonus for that, right? So who do you know that can use an extra $5,000? And again, it could be you or maybe someone you know. So I'm going to give you, I'm going to kind of tell you what I do. And some of you might go, I've heard this before, but maybe you need a reminder, right? And maybe there'll be something in there that you'll go, oh yeah, I never thought about that. So #1 is set a goal. And then you own it. And I don't want to hear, yeah, but it doesn't work anymore, Sherry. I don't want to hear, I don't really, you know, I'll see what happens. Nope. $1,500 a month. I'm going to do it in July. And I'm going to own it. And I'm going to do it every month. Okay, so set a goal. #2. And again, this is not rocket science. Create a list of potential hosts or potential business building activities. So we still call that a host. And then you want to create that list, and you might want to continue to add to the list. We've talked about that before. And then you need to schedule time to reach out to people. Some of you like to do this. It's called calling, actually using the phone to talk to people. Some of you might like to private message. Some of you like to text. I don't care what you do. You just need to reach out to a bunch of people. And then you've heard me say this, follow up, right? This is sales 101. I hate to tell you that, but the bread or your rewards is in the follow-up. So I just use the 3 strikes throughout. A lot of times it's about timing, right? It's just not a good time for them to host a Facebook Messenger party. You know, Shelly, if we have time, can talk about that at the end here. Maybe it's a tasting experience, whatever. You got to follow up with people, right? Okay, so ask everyone. You know, I know Twyla, I think last Monday night, she shared someone ordered from her, and I'm like, Twyla, or maybe it was a call I had with her, I can't remember. I said, well, did you ask her if she's interested in a tasting experience or an online party? And she's like, no, I didn't. And that's okay, I've done the same thing. But if we believe in the value of the benefits of a tasting experience or a tasting party or whatever online, then why wouldn't we? You know, she could just say, no, thank you. But here's the deal. If we don't, and I know you're thinking, yeah, but I don't want them to not call me because I don't want to be pushy. But if you believe in the value, why would you hold it hostage? Like, shame on you for not asking, right? In a nice way. You know, I know you love the product. What about earning some free stuff? In person, online, messenger, whatever. Catalog party, didn't Heather Bollinger just share she had like a $1,200 or $1,100 catalog party? Like, what? So it's out there, you guys, you know it is. Okay. And then when you are doing an in-person tasting or you are doing online, whether it's messenger or whatever, is you have to ask. So at a tasting party, remember how you sit down and they sit down and you look at them in the eye and you thank them for coming and hope you had fun, blah, blah, blah. Hey, would you be interested in having your own tasting experience? Yes, no, or maybe they're going to say, and then you're going to have a conversation, right? And maybe they're like, not right now. And you go, okay, you know, when are you thinking? Well, I could do July. And you're thinking, that's next month. You know, what day of the week could work best? Or you know how to ask those questions. It's really the art of asking questions. Now, I do the old paper calendar. That's my July. It's not green is money, and it's not real full yet. But you know what? I don't know if the rest of you are like this. Look at my October. That's a lot of green. And how does that happen? Because I'm asking people. I'm okay booking out. I've done it for my whole entire career. And honestly, most of them will stick, right? So you want to ask people and you want to ask a lot of them. Online parties, I still do them. What I do now is Wednesday to Friday. And I've cut way back on how many posts I do because honestly, I can't use SynShare. And honestly, I think it was overload. So I do like 4 posts a day. So 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, that's doable. And then thanking them and leaving it open for a week. So that's what I'm doing right now. You know, I had a 0 party last week, or it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, no sales. I had a $600 party. Okay, that's sales. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just didn't work for this girl whose name is Sherry, not me. So, oh well, she's a loser. Of course she's not a loser. I'm a loser. I'm not a loser, nor are you. It's just sales 101. Okay, but when I do an online party and I do get orders, even though it takes a little bit of extra time, but I do reach out and thank them. And then on private message, I just do it that way because it's easier for me. And then I ask them if they'd like to have their own tasting. Am I getting as many yeses? No, but I am getting. I mean, today I had someone that lives in Shelby, Montana, and it was off of a pop-up party, which honestly, I'd rather do my 3-day parties, and she's gonna do one in July. So that's cool. How about do you raise your hand if you rebook your host? Okay. I mean, it's such an easy thing to do, you know. Hey, you had a great party. Even if it's 300, it's still a great party, right? You know, would you be interested in rebooking? You can do it when the catalog comes out in August or fall. You can do it even a year from now. I just did that with Amy from Wapaton. She had a tasting party and she rebooked it for next summer. Wrote it on my calendar, and when it gets closer, I'm sure she'll do it. Why wouldn't she, right? It was fun. So rebook your host. And number 5, I've just said, don't be afraid to book out. And then just, the other thing is I do is if someone's like a maybe, I mean, that happens to me too. I just put these little Post-it notes on the side of my, I still use the paper calendar. Now this one's blank, but if I can't talk them into it, right, which I get, you know, I will reach back to them when I start to fill out my August and go, oh, Shelley, yeah, she said she would do a tasting party in August or September. So I will reach out to her. So that's just another way of keeping track of who may or may not want to work with you. Okay, so income producing activities. Now I know I'm really not talking social media. That doesn't mean I don't believe in it. It's a part of our business, but I feel sometimes people feel like it's your entire business, right? And I would never be here even this past year, if I relied just on social media. Yeah, you need to do it, but it's like your marketing, right? You're your own marketing manager. But what we really need to do to see the results is IPAs, income producing activities. What do? Doesn't mean you have to do it, but this is what I love to do. Tasting experiences, fundraisers, business accounts, online parties. And again, it can be Messenger, the 3-day or the pop-up, and of course, events. You don't have to do all those. You can just zoom in on one, or you could do a variety. That's what you decide. It's going to be 26 years for me, the end of the month. Have things changed? Of course they have. It's business, right? Not, everything changes. So you just have to kind of pivot. But I even talked to Margaret today. I'm like, why don't we talk about, it's so old school, but book, sell, recruit. Remember, that's what we always used to talk about. Book income producing activities, group selling, sell, and then there offer the opportunity. Really isn't that hard. I feel that we just have lost maybe the focus on reaching out to people. I don't know. I mean, there are certain times of the year where it's a little bit more challenging. Sure. But that doesn't mean that you can't make it happen and everybody eats. And remember a couple things. Try to get in the habit of by the 15th of the month, you have your next month booked. Now, guess what? I fell short of that because it's already past June 15th. And I'll be honest with you, I only have 2 income producing activities for July. That's not going to happen. Like, I'm not going to let that happen, right? Because, well, first of all, I need to hit $2,000, but I like to hit 3 because I like to get the 40%. So what does that mean? It means I got to take time to reach out to people, and I will. And it's going to be more than 10 people. It might be 50. I don't know, but I'll just keep doing it until I've reached my goal. Also, don't forget to have fun. I mean, like I said in the beginning of this training, do $1,500 a month every month. That's $5,000 in your pocket. Gross $5,600, but with your expenses, save $5,000. Like who doesn't want that? So I wanted to leave time for Q&A. Was there anything that resonated with you, or is there any questions you have? Did I talk too fast?
I just want to thank you for reminding me of all this because
Yeah.
I need to schedule some more appointments with you. But
Yes.
it's easy to, for me at least, it's easy to get into a slump and think I can't do this. And I can. I know I can. And so it's good to be reminded of this on a periodic basis. And so
That's awesome, Alice. And yes, we will. I'll reach out to you. We'll get back on the calendar. But yeah, I'll never forget that time I did a party with Carmel Mealand, and you and I and was it
I
Karen
know.
Moe or someone, we debriefed after. I mean, you had a party that night, and
I
it's
had
like
an
$800.
$800 party.
You were so excited.
I was.
Yeah, so I really, I still believe the tasting experience works. Look at Sheila. She just had one with a younger gal. It does work. And I will add this. So it's going to be 26 years, the end of June. I didn't have my first party till August 15th. But so what was I, 32 years old? And I was the home party snob. Like, I would never host a home party because I thought, how dumb is that? Why would you have to have people over to your home to sell them something?
Right.
Like, I honestly felt that way. But then when I got in and I had all these people that said they'd do a party for me when we did the 6 and a dozen, I'm like, there's a hidden market out there. There are people that love to do this. And I do 100% believe there still are people, you guys. It's just a matter of finding them. And I wish
It's harder to find them now. I think it's a little harder to find them.
It's different, yeah. But I wish they'd rebrand it a little bit. But it's an experience. I mean, I use that word all the time. Like, I'm sorry.
I like that instead of party, because whenever I say tasting party, that just sort of turns people off.
It's like a 5-letter word.
Yeah, I've been using the word gathering.
Yeah,
So I like experience too. So
yeah, and I mean, you can theme it out and still kind of do the same thing, like a happy hour or get
Yes.
grilling and
girls'
there's
night
some-
in.
Yep,
is
and if you go to
popular.
pop-up party in Get Social. There's like all these great recipes. Like I'm thinking tomorrow night, I think I'm gonna put some together and go, who likes to grill? Here's a bunch of recipes. You know,
Oh,
because so many people don't go to our website
uh-huh.
and check out all our recipes. So anyway, Shelley, we don't have much time, but have you done a messenger party yet? I know we talked about that last week.
I
No,
have not yet.
has anybody done a messenger party? I know it was Shelley and I or someone else. We had like my daughter had a Pampered Chef messenger party. You know, in November. I really think the bottom line is, you guys, do what gets you excited, right? Like, I love doing tasting parties. That doesn't mean if you don't like them that you're bad. You just gotta find what gets you going, right? Gets you excited, because that, remember what the last 3 letters of enthusiasm is? Anyone? Enthusiasm. I know you've heard this before. This is from the olden days. The last 4 letters. I am sold myself. The last 4 letters, enthusiasm. So recheck what you're thinking, guys. What are you enthusiastic about? Enthusiasm. I am sold myself, because that is contagious. So figure out what that is and run with it. Sound good? Well, I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks again. Great to see everybody's smiling faces. If you have any comments or questions, certainly hang on. Otherwise, good luck. We have less than 2 weeks left, but still time to make it happen, right?
So what